Okay, so I need to take this tach out and this speedometer out because this tach seems to wander, and it's I'm guessing, I've been told by other people on Ferrari chat that it's a common problem. It works, it just kind of does this sometimes. So I'm going to send this off to a place called MoMA Manufacturing. Seem to be nice folks. They have good reviews. I'm also going to send off my speedometer. The speedometer works great. I put in the speed sensor. It fixed the flappiness. The issue with the speedometer, and I just noticed it just the other day. I don't typically drive this car on the freeway, but I did drive it the other day on the freeway. And when it stays at around 70, which is around between 60 and 80, it stays there, but then occasionally it would drop and then it would come back up. So since I'm sending in the tach, I figured I would send in the speedometer as well. I have never taken out the gauge cluster. You can see here I've got these wires pulled out. I have ordered new ones of these. These were obviously broken before. Apparently this is also kind of a normal breakage occurrence. So I've got new ones of these coming. And yeah. So from what I understand, and I don't know if it's accurate, these come out here and here, and there are two screws that you can access behind these particular fellows. It looks like it's probably broken too. Okay, there we go. That actually is not broken. This plastic piece is broken, just came off. It's little tabs, which isn't not shocking. Maybe I'll order new ones of those as well. I probably should have just gone ahead and ordered new ones. But anyway, okay, so there is a screw there that I can see. That's one. Let's see if we can get the other one out. Might have to just order another set of these as well. Oh, that one came out pretty easily. This one doesn't seem to be broken. That's good. And then I can see a screw there as well. Okay. Okay. I've got a couple very long screwdrivers. I don't think you need them this long, but it's kind of difficult to see this. So I'm trying to give myself the best shot here. I don't know if that's gonna work. So top tip here, you're gonna have to remove the steering wheel anyway to get this off, to get the gauge pod out. So just remove the steering wheel first, and you don't have to keep turning it and doing what I'm doing in this particular part. I am also going to replace every bulb in here with LEDs. And it'd be good to have, thank you, magnetic. This is a black and a pink with a black stripe on the right. And this is two blacks and a brown on the left. Now, as far as I know, this should being an interesting word, just come right out. Ah, I've got two more screws. Okay, so there's two there, and there's two here, it looks like. I'm trying to... They're not easy to see. I can tell you that. This is going to be so much fun going back in. I can tell. Okay. We're definitely loose. Not sure the... I'm going to pull this. This is a green and yellow wire with a yellow and black kind of tiger striped wire. I'll try to unplug this if we can. There's one. And there's two. This is a blue and white striped wire and a black wire. Okay, there we go. Just needed a little. Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to have to take the steering wheel off. Yes, I am. There's no way that's coming out. Okay. So we got that. I'm going to put these here and try my best to remove. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. Let me see how I can pull this out. Okay, there we go. We are connected. We are connected. But thankfully, looks like Ferrari gave us a little bit of length on this connector. So here I am, I'm marking all of the different plugs so that I know where they go when I put it all back together. So what we're going to do is remove the speedometer and the tachometer. How we're going to do that, I'm not 100% sure. I think it looks like it's wing nuts. Well, that would be nice. Nice and simple. Got a little, well, not a wing nut. I don't know what you'd call this. A knurled nut with a little washer. We'll replate these two because these are in very rusty condition. And another washer. And then, yeah, that's it. Well, that's pretty convenient. I mean, you know, compared to all right, so we've got a little wire here. I'm not sure how that's connected. Okay. That I don't know. Let's see if we can. Yeah, okay. So we're unscrewing this around that cone. There's a washer there as well. Grab our magnet. This is our washer. And then this, hopefully, yes, will slide right out that way. Very good. Very good. Very good. Thing, I'm going to clean all this up. As you can see, I've been doing various. This is the speedometer nuts and washers. Been doing various lighting upgrades for the car. The car now has all LEDs on the outside. I did it partially for the brightness, but mostly I did it because they take a lot less voltage. So these 40-year-old wires, which are in good shape, there's nothing wrong with them, but they'll have a lot less load on them, which will hopefully prolong their life even more. All right. The interesting thing is, okay, so that just kind of pushes against it. Interesting. I guess the other one did the same thing. They just kind of push against the metal piece here. And there's my tach. And that's it. Hey guys, so obviously I don't have a speedometer and tachometer in this, but I wanted to show you two things. I'm going to be replacing all of these bulbs with LEDs, because if you've ever driven one of these at night in stock form, it's pretty difficult to see. So there's a lot of stuff online that you know, on Ferrari chat that talks about how to do this, but no one actually shows it, so I figured I would show it. All of these little white things are your bulbs, okay? And the way to get them out, don't pull them, because just don't. I mean, maybe you could, I don't know, but my guess is that's a very, very bad idea, and also why they have these little slits here. So what you're going to do is you're going to, let's see if I can turn my, oh, I don't have my light on. Well, if you put a small screwdriver down here in that slit, you can kind of see, it's a little difficult, but you can kind of see the edge right there of your light. So best. Okay, there we go. So it's got a little ridge on it right there. So you just want your screwdriver to get hold of that ridge. I didn't get hold of it a couple of times. You can see it's scratched, but that's what you do. So once you've got your light out, now these are the ones that I got. There are people that there's a few threads on Ferrari Chat that talks about the types of lights. These actually do fit. There are some that people talk about that, like, well, you know, they kind of don't fit, but these actually do fit, because there are some out there that don't. So these are Serundo Auto 10-piece super bright, and I'll put the link in the description so you can pick it up. I don't actually have enough viewers that I'm going to get any affiliates. I'm not going to get any money from it, so I'm not trying to steer you wrong. And that's it. And a good idea, I think, hit this bottom part with a little contact cleaner, and this right here. I wouldn't spray it into the holder, just because I don't know. I just wouldn't want to do that. But yeah, then you just stick it in here, and then you push and twist, and you're in. And then just, you know, obviously to put it back in, you just simple reversal. You just stick her right in there, and there you go. For the smaller ones, you are going to need a smaller screwdriver. You can kind of push this apart a little bit, I think, but I'd be very cautious about that because you don't want to break it. I think it's really more just you slide it. But yeah, I'm going to do the rest of these. You don't need to watch me do that. You've seen it. But yeah. Oh, one other thing. For these two guys, this is the, I think I think this is the battery and this is the hazard. Apparently there's not enough voltage that runs into those where you actually get light. So you should just leave those with the normal bulb. Don't swap those for LEDs. Okay. Okay. Got my gauges back from MoMA Manufacturing. Looks beautiful. Our LEDs. I think are here. But I'm not 100%. Yeah, there we go. All right, so there's one. Let's grab our, these are our LED bulbs. There we go. I'm beginning to wonder if I have enough now. I might have to order more. We'll see, I guess. There's one. So I can put the tack back in. Like so. There's a little notch there at the bottom, although it doesn't really, I don't think it really helps you a whole lot. But you can see it at least. You can at least see it and know what you're looking at. All right, and now this, from what I recall, these go in here like so. And then we've got a spring washer and a nut. One. I'm not going to tighten that one down completely because we want it to be even. Alright, we don't want to show favoritism. This one's going to be a little bit more. There we go. I thought it was going to give me more of a hassle, but it didn't. At least not yet. Okay. This is actually a really nice design compared to like the dash, the gauge cluster of the of that white car over there. This is a much nicer design. Very simple, which is nice. And there we go. There's our tach. Okay, so I've got the speedometer here. Now, unlike pretty much every other one of these take the smaller LEDs. So if you look on the back here, all of these little white things are LEDs, okay? So I've already done these two. I forgot to film, so sorry about that, but you'll get to see it live on this one. They are a little fiddly, probably because they've never been taken out. They're plastic, unlike the other ones, so take your time. Don't get bananas with it. Just take your time. Okay, there we go. And the same thing with the light. So the light, you just want to kind of give it a little wiggle back and forth. There we go. Don't, you know, yank and pull and all of that mess, because you're just gonna break something. And then you can see the little tabs in there line up with the little metal tabs. It'll only go one way. And there you go. And you just put it back in there. And now, won't it be nice that I'll actually be able to see my turn signals if they're on? Since I pretty much never drive this car at night, driving it during the day, and my stock doesn't actually cancel right now because I'm sure the tabs are broken off like most of them. It can be kind of annoying driving down the road and realizing you've had your turn signal on for the last, 20 minutes. But it is what it is. Okay. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. This is not a light. This is the actual, or is it? Oh yeah, this, okay, it's like trying to figure out what this was. So there's a rheostat, so there's this that's on here, and then there's this. So they look exactly the same, which is why I was kind of flipping out. This is to reset your odometer rollover, so you don't have to mess with this one. So we've almost got them all. Only need one more. Oh, no, I got that one already. Maybe we got them all then. Oh, this one. I got turned around. Got turned around. I thought that came out awfully easily. That's one thing about old cars. You can tell when something's been taken apart before, because it actually comes off instead of, holding on for dear life, cemented into oblivion. And you can tell I'm not spraying any of this in here because these contacts look pristine. Probably because, they are, probably because this car hasn't been driven at night very often. Okay, that's everything LED-wise on our entire gauge cluster. Put this guy through here. Oh, nice. Very nice. Okay. Oh, this right here is for that. That is exactly what that's for. Okay. One there and one there. Gonna see if I can actually see where this was before. I don't know if I can know where it is. It is the other way, because that way seems like it's not the correct way to me. I could be wrong. I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay. I'm just going to start these nuts. I'm sure this is not where this bracket will wind up being. I think I'm going to have to go back and look at the footage and see exactly where it was. So I will do that shortly. So this is the basic way you put it on. You will have to position the bracket a little bit down on the sides of the speedometer. That's the correct place for it to go. Right now it's kind of resting on the top, but you just push those bars back slightly so that it goes around the side, and then you're good to go, and you just tighten up the nuts, and then it's in where it's supposed to be. Okay, I did forget. So because all of these are going to be LEDs, this is our little rheostat dimmer. We're not going to use that because that doesn't work well with LEDs. It doesn't dim correctly. So what you want to do if you're going to do LEDs, there's these two, and it doesn't matter which way it goes. It's one that has two yellows and one that has a white. These typically go onto the rheostat. So we're just going to plug that in. And we're going to plug that in. So now we've effectively jumped it. Okay, so because there's absolutely no chance of me doing this without killing myself, ripping my hair out, this is an M6 screw. This is an M6 bolt. This is a 10 millimeter magnetic socket. Because otherwise, I'm going to be fighting with this thing tooth and nail, and I'm not really interested in doing that. So I am going to use a bolt instead of a screw. Okay, so basically this is me putting the left side bolt in that I also replaced from the screw because I have magnetic sockets. If you don't have a magnetic socket, buy one, because otherwise there's no way you're going to be able to do this. It's just it'll fall down so many times that you'll want to kill yourself. So get magnetic sockets. They're not that expensive. Just get one. Just get a set and use a bolt. One thing, there are two little
arms, the two little the little metal arms, and you'll see them when you're putting the bolt through. That's what the bolt goes through to basically secure the bottom of the gauge cluster. Those you will have to probably push a little bit with like a screwdriver just to get over the hump. There's a little hump on both sides of the dash that those have to go over and into, so that the gauge pot actually will slide in far enough so that you can bolt them to the hole. But other than that, it's pretty self-explanatory.
I don't think this matters as far as like which blade goes to which. I think it's pretty much just whatever fits on whatever. I believe that's correct anyway. Okay. What in the hell? Some kind of sticky goop on here. I'm not really sure what that's all about. Alright, we're just going to turn and make sure our lights are turning on. So that's all working. And then we turn on our hazards. Uh-oh. That sucks. Okay. It's better. It's not... This is still kind of dark. This is nice, though. Bright lights. Bright lights. Okay, I've turned on the battery. I've reconnected the battery. Let's try the hazards again. Yep, still not working. I wonder if it's definitely connected to the terminal. Maybe I just have a bad light. Suppose that's possible. It's pretty annoying if that's the case, since they're brand new. No, still not working. Okay, so I've done some testing. So this blue wire is the same as this blue wire. If I pull this out, like so, and then I hit this hazard switch, it doesn't illuminate. You can see that's there. If I push it into the housing and I hit the hazard, it works. So there must be a ground in the housing, which means it's highly possible that I just didn't push this in far enough. Nope, that's still not doing it.
So it turned out that basically for the tiny bulbs, you have to put them in a specific way. It's difficult to see which way to put them in from the holder, but they do have to be put in a specific way for them to actually work. And they can go in the wrong way because obviously my right one is not working. They also don't work unless you put them in the housing. So you can't really test them outside of the housing, which kind of sucks. I think there's a ground in there or something, but yeah. So make sure that you have all of your lights working before you bolt anything up, because yeah, you're just going to have to pull it all back out again.
Here, go through this hole.
Okay, so here I'm screwing in the top screws. I was able to use the screws for the tops rather than the bolts. They're a little bit easier to get in because you don't have to fiddle with the arms, the little metal arms on the bottom. But if you wanted to, swap them for bolts, I think that would be fine too, just as long as they fit.
Okay, power's on. My light's on there. Brights, good. Hazards, good. Where's my key? There's my key. Got all that working. This needs to be straightened down a little bit. And that light's working. And that doesn't work. That's supposed to work with the fan, but it didn't work before and it's not working now, so I don't know why it doesn't work. But everything else works. And I don't think that was working before either, or if it was incredibly low. All lights work. You're gonna give me a hard time, aren't you? All right. Finished.